It's just, it's crazy. It's a dream that we want to wake up and go away.
Rushing to the river, our team coverage on the search for the suspect continues.
A massacre suspect still at large. We're live here in Lisbon, Maine, as investigators continue to search for Robert Card, the 40-year-old suspect responsible for killing 18 people Wednesday night. We'll be live in just moments with an update from police.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC 6 News, first at 4.
We begin at 4 o'clock with the urgent manhunt underway in Lewiston right now. Authorities have not been able to track down that suspect that opened fire on Wednesday. It's been 2 days since tragedy hit that small town of Maine. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Now, the search expanded today for the man who is accused of opening fire, killing 18 people in what officials are calling the worst mass killing in the state's history. The close-knit community plans to honor the victims tonight.
I'm still grieving from this event, and I just wanted to try to possibly start the healing process in some way.
Physical representations of support and love now hanging on trees in the city outside of a hospital where many of the victims are currently recovering. Meantime, new aerial video just into our newsroom at this hour show police expanding their search, and yet still no sign of Robert Card. ABC 6 News reporter Caitlin Gilhouse joins us live from Lisbon, Maine, with updates on that search. Caitlin?
Well, Tiffany, I'm here in Lisbon, Maine, a hotspot for investigators as they are still desperately searching for Robert Card, the 40-year-old suspect involved in this mass shooting. Now, police say the investigation is still very active, and they're taking their time to make sure they get things right. The river we are at right now, important to investigators because this is where Card's vehicle was found Wednesday night. Today, divers searching the waters of the river, looking for any kind of evidence that could lead them to Card. The investigation continues for the teams focused on finding the suspect.
As you realize, the suspect in this case is not in custody. That continues to be our focus. And I think if you look at these two things, we have an investigative bucket with a great deal of resources that are investigating the crime, what occurred. And there's clearly an apprehension team here with a lot of folks that are involved in that. And of course, they're going to intermingle. That's a given. But I think in this scenario, I want you to keep those two things in mind because even though we're going to be active with this search and the investigative side, always in our mind, we're going to be looking for the suspect.
And Tiffany, Card still at large. Police suggesting that if you are to see him, not to approach or engage with the suspect as he is armed and dangerous. We are expecting another update this evening, so be sure to stick with ABC 6 News, both on air and online, and on our new Now Local News app. We'll continue to update you on the investigation of this manhunt. For now, live in Lisbon, Maine, Caitlin Gilhouse, ABC 6 News.
Thanks, Caitlin. Meantime, we are learning more about some of the victims who died in this mass shooting. Let's take a look at this. Is 53-year-old Trisha Aslin, who was killed in just-in-time recreation. Her brother says Aslin was a part-time employee at that bowling alley, and she was actually bowling when the shooter got there and opened fire. He says she was shot while she was trying to call 911. Now, one of the other victims, Joshua Seal, was a beloved interpreter for the deaf. According to his wife, he was killed at a cornhole tournament for deaf athletes at the bar and grill where the gunman opened fire, the second location. Seal gained national attention during the pandemic as one of the lead interpreters for the deaf in Maine during daily COVID-19 briefings from the CDC. Now, in all, 8 of the 18 victims of that shooting so far have been identified. Their names right here on your screen for you. They include a manager of that bowling alley, a youth bowling coach, and at the other shooting scene, the manager of that bar and grill. Back here at home tonight in Providence, Mayor Brett Smiley says this shooting should once again be a call to action for more gun control legislation.
Of something productive to do with this anguish and this heartbreak is we need to make it harder to get guns in this country. I'm heartened to see that one of the congressmen in Maine recently shifted his position and is now in support of a national ban on assault weapons, which is something I've advocated for years.
And the mass shooting in Maine was carried out with a high-powered firearm, bringing back some awful memories in Connecticut. ABC 6 News reporter Daniel Coates spoke with a parent of a Sandy Hook student who was shot and killed inside of that school 11 years ago.
Well, guys, one of those parents tells me that what he's seeing out of Maine is truly heartbreaking and continues to conjure up memories of his tremendous loss from over a decade ago. Mark Barden is the CEO and founder of the Sandy Hook Promise that works with local organizations to educate the youth about warning signs that could lead to mass shootings. The aftermath of a mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, still unfolding this Friday. A shooter killing 18 innocent people Wednesday in a bowling alley and restaurant. Barden has dealt with the loss of his 7-year-old son, Daniel, since that December day in Newtown, Connecticut, 11 years ago, saying the same shootings keep reminding him of that terrifying afternoon.
December 14th, 2012, when, as we all know, a gunman shot his way into Sandy Hook Elementary School and shot and killed 26 people inside the school. And one of them was our 7-year-old son, Daniel. It's an awful thing to have to go through. For me, knowing how my little Daniel died, cowering in the bathroom, being shot at by a gunman with an AR-15.
And that situation in Lewiston, Maine, still unfolding. Tonight at 5, we'll have more from Mark and what he's doing to hopefully curb mass shootings in the future. For now in Providence, I'm Daniel Coates, ABC 6 News.
And you can count on ABC 6 News for continuing coverage of the mass shooting investigation and the manhunt currently underway. ABC 6 News reporter Caitlin Gilhouse will be live in Lewiston as this continues to unfold. Of course, we will keep bringing you the latest on air and online, as well as our Now Local News app. An ABC 6 News update at 4 o'clock. State police continue their search for the man wanted in the killing of his wife in Gardner, Massachusetts. Police dive team searching Lake Wampanoag in Gardner just today, looking for this man, 33-year-old Aaron Pennington. That lake is right near where cops found Pennington's car earlier this week. Now, police didn't find anything in today's search. Pennington is accused of shooting and killing his wife, Brianna. He's considered armed and dangerous. Right now, all lanes on Route 95 South back open at this hour after a gnarly crash this morning in Pawtucket. You can see it here. Crews rushed to save the driver after this truck crashed off the highway down that steep embankment. It happened early this morning. This was the scene. Dozens of police and firefighters working to get that man out of that heavily damaged truck. That man was responsive while crews worked to rescue him. He was taken to the hospital. Sentencing day for a Providence man who sexually assaulted a juvenile girl who knew him back in 2022. Attorney General Peter Nerona says 38-year-old Luis Concepcion will serve 14 years in prison. He pled no contest to first-degree sexual assault earlier this month. The victim reported Concepcion in January. Police found he assaulted her between September 2022 and December of that year. Now, on top of the 14 years, he will also serve 40 years probation with a no contact order with the victim. He must register as a sex offender and attend counseling. First at 4, you are looking live over Providence on this Friday afternoon. Let's get a check of our forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Banson, who joins us live in the Weather Center. Jeff?
Tiffany, a beautiful day out there. A little bit cloudy for some folks, and that did keep some areas, mainly South County, a little bit cooler today, but still a very mild day and still really, really comfortable out there. Let's go down to Tiverton from this morning. This was a photo sent in to us by Jocelyn Sherman showing the beautiful foliage that's getting into peak. There's still a little green in there, so near peak conditions for many, except for some of the higher elevations and some of the more rural areas where it gets a little colder at night. You're really seeing the full color there. Of course, that's a pine tree at the top. That's not going to change color. That is what we're looking at right now. We're looking off to the south, and you can see all that cloud cover, mainly overcast conditions hugging the coastline today. And we're looking at our max temperatures. You can clearly make out why we are in the 60s. Groton, Westerly, Newport, out towards Falmouth, the Vineyard, Block Island, because of the cloud cover, not necessarily because of the wind flow. You get further north and you can really make out that jump from green to yellow. Providence right on the in-between. You know, we were going with a high of 77 degrees today, Tiffany, and you can see just to the north. Look at the difference between Providence and Smithfield. That's not a huge distance to go between to get a 7-degree difference like that. But again, it was because of that added cloud cover. So as we're looking at temperatures right now, Providence just went over to mostly sunny conditions, so we might actually see the temperature jump up here, but still a very mild afternoon and a nice evening coming up and a great first half of the weekend before big changes coming up on Sunday. We'll have all the latest in the 7-day forecast in a bit.
A focus on our schools at 4 o'clock. A Providence classroom closed today because of elevated chemicals found in the air. The letter from Superintendent Montañez and the high school principal at George Alvarez says that chemical could be from perfumes or vapors, but closed the classroom out of an abundance of caution. Testing today showed no other rooms have elevated levels, and there is no concern for student or staff safety. We'll provide updates for the school as they become available to us. Celebration in Providence today as city and educational leaders gathered for the ribbon cutting on a new high school. Inside the newly finished high school, state-of-the-art modern classrooms, a new gymnasium, and multi-purpose areas where students can work. The massive 75,000 square foot building will be able to house up to 700 students in grades 9 through 12.
They just have it all here, so that's just fantastic. See this group of students leave here, civics ready, financial literacy ready, real world experience, all of those things that we strive for.
The school is the first 4-year Achievement First high school in the Ocean State. The 10 years since Achievement First was established in 2013, students regularly scored above statewide averages in RICAS testing. According to results from the 2021-22 school year, 21% of Achievement First students met or exceeded expectations versus a 16% total in the rest of the state. Still to come on ABC 6 News, first at 4. 5 years later, a message from a Pennsylvania rabbi in the midst of continued violence all around the world. Plus, the Israeli government expanding its ground forces as it continues to strike Gaza City and striking back at Iran. The latest developments from U.S. airstrikes after officials say the country and militants attacked U.S. forces over the last several days. You're watching ABC 6, Southern New England's trusted news source.
Getting the right new windows with Pella was simple.
Yeah, when renovating a drafty old house, it can be hard to find great people.
Our dedicated Pella advisor was a godsend.
We had confidence in Pella. They sold over 5 million replacement windows and doors.
So we knew our local team would be on top of every detail.
And the installation was done in just a day.
Mom, the kitchen sink's broken again.
I wish Pella did plumbing.
Hurry, replacement windows are on sale now. Schedule a free in-home consultation for details.
Pick 6 on ABC 6, brought to you by Bacala Concrete.
The insurance company is at it again, trying to keep what's rightfully yours. That is not acceptable. Call D'Oliveira and Associates. They have the resources, power, and experience necessary to get you every dollar you deserve.
They got me almost $1 million.
$250,000.
A good lawyer shouldn't cost you more. They should get you more.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call D'Oliveira and Associates on the Hurt Line right now.
At any point, you can encounter evil. Young woman riding her bike and she gets abducted.
Where is she?
It made the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
You get the phone call. She's been found.
One of the worst pains you can ever have.
I kind of had to stop my jaw from falling.
What kind of person would do this sort of thing?
Evil person.
The 2020 true crime event, David Muir, Deborah Roberts, tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Gather your ghoul friends for a extra good treat as these families compete to see who's best in shock. The Great Halloween Fright Fight, Sunday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
National news at 4 o'clock. Today marks 5 years since the mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. It was the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history, killing 11 people. Rabbi Jeffrey Myers says we all need to learn how to live in peace and work together. He also had a message for Lewiston, Maine, saying his synagogue and the Pittsburgh community stand with them at this difficult time. Continuing our coverage of the war between Israel and Hamas. The war now on day 21. Israel's Defense Force is now ramping up strikes in Gaza overnight. An IDF spokesperson says Israel continues to expand its ground activity. Video showing fighter jets and drones hitting what Israel is calling Hamas sites. Just this morning, a Tel Aviv apartment building was hit from a Gaza rocket, leaving heavy damage.
The reason I think we don't have any casualties
to the best of my understanding of the scenario, is because people acted according to the instructions.
Meantime, in Gaza, hundreds of people are desperate to get fresh water. Aid trucks are now entering from Egypt to bring much needed supplies there. The Israeli government showing photos hoping to prove that Hamas is using Gaza's main hospital to shield itself. Hamas denying the allegations. Now to other news making headlines around the world this afternoon at 4. The U.S. has carried out airstrikes in eastern Syria at 2 facilities linked to Iranian-backed militias. Officials say the strikes targeted a weapons storage facility and ammunition storage facility as well. Those 2 spots were used by Iranian forces to help carry out attacks on U.S. forces over the last few days. U.S. officials say there have been at least 16 attacks across the region against U.S. forces since October 17th. The Biden administration is looking to send a strong message to Iran and the militants to not escalate the attacks and cause additional conflict.
And now, your ABC 6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Jeff Benson.
All right, we'll kick it off with your other headlines. And yeah, beautiful, sunny, and it's the kind of weather where you just want to go down to the beach, right? Who had a late October pre-Halloween beach day on their bingo card for 2023? Because I sure did not have that at all. But a beautiful day coming up tomorrow. It's going to be warmer than today because of the lack of cloud cover. A lot of our spots, mainly in South County, got really hampered in the temperature department today. But we're still talked about temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. So beach day tomorrow, late Sunday showers. We've brought the timing back a little bit. There could be some rain really anytime after lunchtime. So morning plans on Sunday, okay. PM plans might be a little bit dicey. But the other big thing is going to be significantly cooler. We're talking about a 20-degree temperature drop from tomorrow to Sunday. Monday is a pretty similar day with shower chances and temperatures that will be pretty close to average. And then that chill comes in for Halloween. So let's back it up. Let's go to your beach forecast. Beautiful out there. This is going to be for tomorrow. Sunshine. We had the clouds this morning. It's sunny in most spots right now, or increasing amounts of sunshine. So if you were thinking of maybe going down to the shore this evening, a little walk on the beach, it's going to be really, really nice. So after a big spike in temperatures, we're going to see near average conditions Sunday and Monday, and then below average by about 5 to 10 degrees Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday before a little bit of an averaging and a leveling off later in the week. I'm not really concerned. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a shock to the system for the daytime temperatures, which will be low 50s, maybe even a couple of days where upper 40s. But it's the nighttime temperatures that could cause a little bit more in the way of issues. If we get down close to freezing, if we do have that first freeze of the year, we're going to be talking about irrigation systems having to be shut off a little early. We're going to be talking about the potential for any budding grass. And again, September, October, usually good months for grass. We don't typically see that first freeze until November. So we may have to do some covering of any kind of seedlings, bringing inside of plants. We'll get to that, obviously, as it gets closer, but something to just have in the back of your head right now. Beautiful night out there as, again, the clouds melt away from earlier today. Look at this. Not a cloud in sight tomorrow at 6 a.m. We're waking up. Temperatures are already around 60 degrees and just nothing stopping them from hitting 80 tomorrow. I think we're going to see many spots get to 80 today. North of Rhode Island and southeast Mass up towards Boston, where we didn't have a lot of cloud cover today, it already touched 80 degrees. So just a sign, I think, of things to come for tomorrow. Then what happens on Saturday night? There is a cold front that sags south of us. It's dry. We don't see any rain with it, but clouds are going to start coming in, and then a warm front's going to lift through, but it's significantly knocking those temperatures back. Here we are, Sunday, 9 a.m., 52 degrees. By the afternoon, we only see that rise 3-4 degrees. We may not even get out of the 50s on Sunday the way things are shaping up. And again, here we are into the PM hours, and you see some scattered, generally light to moderate rainfall that will increase as we head into Sunday night. And again, that lingers into Monday. Then that front is going to pass and another cold front's going to come through. And this is where the big temperature drop comes as we head into your Halloween on Tuesday. Fortunately, we will be clearing it out. Could be maybe a little bit of cloud cover around, but dry weather for your trick-or-treating forecast. We're going with a trick-or-treating temperature of 47 degrees. Could be a little bit higher or lower than that, depending on what time you do go trick-or-treating to take the kids out. But I will say right now, the earlier, the better, because as night falls, the wind kicks in a little bit, it's going to be probably feeling even colder than this. So keep that in mind. Again, when you're taking the kiddos out, make sure, obviously, the costumes, they got to be dressed a little warm as we head into next week. Chilly temperature of only 50 degrees for your Halloween high. Again, drops into the 40s for trick-or-treating, and then overnight lows Tuesday night into Wednesday, Wednesday night and Thursday, Tiffany, going to be down in the 30s to close to freezing, and we'll have to keep a close eye on that for you.
The earlier the better, not only because of the weather, but also that's when all the goodies, right, before they...
That's right, yeah.
Right?
Nothing worse than coming up to a stoop and then an empty,
right.
You know, especially the people that leave it out.
Right, or the worst candy, the candy you don't really care about, right? That's all that's left at the end of the
That's another
night.
conversation. We should talk about that.
We'll talk about it. Still to come on ABC 6 News, first at 4. Speaking of Halloween, just ahead of the holiday, we'll tell you what the TSA had to say about bringing pitchforks and lightsabers to the airport. Plus, how you and your pet can get in on the Halloween mood this weekend.
Hi, I'm ABC 6 News anchor Tiffany Murphy. I know how hectic life can be, so give us 11 minutes at 11 o'clock, and we'll give you tonight's breaking headlines, updates on today's top stories. 11 minutes of non-stop commercial-free news and weather. Everything you need to know to get ready for tomorrow. Join me for 11 at 11, only on ABC 6.
Mediterranean restaurant. Home away from home. Here we make everything to order with passion. Visit Seacon or Attleboro location.
Tacos. Tallulah's Taqueria. Join us in our new dining room on Sims Ave in the Valley neighborhood of Providence.
Or come to Ella's Food and Drink in Westerly. Experience the art of dining. Ella's has something for everyone's palate.
Join my family and I for an evening of traditional Lebanese cuisine at Opa Restaurant on Feather Hill.
My mom's Alzheimer's never changed how much we love her, but it did change her. She developed agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. She started yelling, pacing around, kept repeating the same questions. She got agitated often, so we asked her doctor for help.
Rexulti is the only FDA-approved medication proven to reduce agitation symptoms that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Rexulti can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death. Weight gain, increased cholesterol, low white blood cells, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness may occur. Take action for your loved one. Ask their doctor about Rexulti.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Murphy. I know how hectic life can be, so give us 11 minutes at 11 o'clock, and we'll give you 11 minutes of non-stop commercial-free news and weather.
Trending this afternoon at 4 o'clock, TF Green Airport celebrating Halloween in a big way. They're running a fun contest where their employees went all out decorating pumpkins, and they want you to vote for which piece you think is the most impressive. So we have a little situation here. Look at this. Okay, so it's a pumpkin nurse and a doctor. I love that. Classic Tin Man with a heart, obviously from The Wizard of Oz. Then look, it's Cinderella's magical carriage. Love the creativity. Popcorn, a lion, and one for the union workers as well. We could just go on and on. They just get cuter as we keep going. Look at this. You can vote for your faves on their Facebook page. The TSA with a warning to travelers tonight. If you plan to go through security checkpoints this Halloween, don't bring on prohibited items. The agency is asking passengers to remember the 311 rule. That states that if you have a liquid or lotion, including fake blood, each item can only be 3.4 ounces or less in your carry-on, and it has to fit into a plastic quart-sized bag. Any costume props like the ones you're seeing on your screen, fake or real, like fake knives, lightsabers, they have to be in your checked luggage. If your Halloween gear comes with a mask, they say don't wear it through security, and please don't paint your face. Calling all animal lovers, the Hotel for Homeless Dogs hosting Halloween tomorrow. The event, now in its 4th year, serves as a fundraiser for the Cumberland nonprofit. The free fall event includes live music, dozens of local vendors, there's food as well, tons of dogs. Canines and their owners are invited to come dressed to impress. Last year's event raised about $20,000. The festivities kick off at noon tomorrow at Lincoln Woods State Park. Hey, get ready to lose yourself in some sauce. Rapper Eminem dropping a line of pasta sauce named Mom's Spaghetti. Why did it take this song, really? Because this is from a 2002 hit song, Lose Yourself. In 2017, Eminem also opened a restaurant with that same name in Detroit. You can order the sauce on momspaghetti.com. ABC6News.com. Still to come on ABC 6 News. First at 4, bundle up. This Halloween is going to be chilly. We have the full forecast coming up on the other side of the break.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 800-LAW-1222. I'm attorney Rob Levine, and I have the power of the law.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 1-800-LAW-1222.
Tonight, the victims of the massacre in Maine and the investigation. Plus, as the death toll rises in Gaza, the world braces for an Israeli ground invasion. More Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Do you have Original Medicare or already have a Medicare Advantage plan? Now's the time to review your healthcare coverage. CCA Health Rhode Island provides you with coverage that cares, coverage that simplifies your healthcare. A CCA Medicare Preferred PPO plan brings together doctors, hospitals, and other resources in your community, all to create a comprehensive health insurance plan that may save you money, with in-network benefits that go beyond Original Medicare. Like a $0 monthly premium in addition to your Medicare Part B premium, $0 drug deductible and $0 tiers 1 and 2 prescription drugs, $150 quarterly to purchase approved OTC products, dental coverage worth $3,000 per year, $0 routine vision exam with eyewear up to $400 a year, and more benefits. Call to see if a CCA Medicare Preferred plan can provide the coverage you need and save you money. The Medicare annual election period ends December 7th. Call 855-210-1973. That's 855-210-1973.
Nothing brings people together like good food. With the freshest ingredients, all-natural Fage sour cream is so rich, so creamy, so good. Daringly simple, amazingly delicious. Discover Fage sour cream.
Vote November 7th to send Democrat Gabe Amo to Congress. The stakes have never been higher. Gabe will stand up to extreme Republicans to protect reproductive freedom, fight to end gun violence, and he will always defend Medicare and Social Security. Gabe Amo has the experience we need now. He knows how to get things done. Vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Vote for Gabe Amo, Democrat for Congress.
I'm Gabe Amo, and I approve this message.
How do you print money legally? Just own an insurance company. They get a payment every month. But if you get injured, they argue about paying you. At Rob Levine & Associates, we use the power of law to get you more than the insurance company wants to pay. Call the heavy hitter.
Call 1-800-LAW-1222.
The spookiest time of the year is right around the corner, and depending on where you are in America, these temperatures for Halloween could be pretty spine-chilling. So get a load of this. By Halloween on Tuesday, temps will be below average across much of the country. In fact, it could feel like the mid-teens in North Dakota. Plus, you're walking through snow there, so hello.
I'm loving you doing my job right now. This is awesome.
Do you?
I'm giving you the clicker, please.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on, take it.
Yeah, can we, what do I click? I don't want to mess it up.
Maybe.
Just tell me the buttons. I'm a quick learn.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very, very cold across a good swath of the country, which was otherwise really warm this week, except for the extreme northern portions of, say, the upper plains and the Pacific Northwest. All that cold's going to be creeping in, and we're going to get the big page turner, if you will, this weekend. We'll call it Weekend Whiplash.
Is that because of a low front?
That doesn't exist, but you're really close.
A high front.
Because of a cold front.
Oh, a cold front. Okay.
Goes from hot to cold because of the cold front. 80 on Saturday, near record temperatures, 57, breezy with PM rain developing on Sunday. And that's not the coldest we're going to get. Tiffany, you're going to love this graphic. Get ready to dance. Come on, look at the Frankensteins. Let's go. I don't know what dance that is. Maybe it's like called the Mummy or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But morning temperature, 40 degrees. It's a dry day, but only 50 for your afternoon high. And then by the time we're getting out going trick-or-treating, lows are going to be dropping into the 40s and eventually the 30s overnight. But we should be home asleep before we see that temperature change happen. But watching for some near freezing stuff during the morning time frame, Wednesday and Thursday.
I feel like those are probably like your dad moves. No? I feel like that's pretty reminiscent of your dad moves.
They're very rhythmic. I will say I have good rhythm and tempo, just maybe not the most
I'll stick with my day job, you stick with yours,
Okay,
doing the weather.
good.
Hey, that does it for us on First Step. For a quick peek of what our team is working on for the 5 o'clock broadcast, we will return to Maine, where our Caitlin Galehouse is there as she continues our team coverage. Plus, that tragedy bringing back some terrifying memories for some Sandy Hook parents. We'll check in with them about that day back in 2011. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. We'll see you at 5.